This is the Arkham Horror living card game from Fantasy Flight. On the back of the box it will handily tell you that you need 5 packs of large sleeves and 1 pack of small sleeves. That is a lie, because you will only need 5 small sleeves, not a pack of 50, unless you're investing for the future. Advertising, always welcome. You have a learn to play guide, which is typical of the Fantasy Flight style of get you started as soon as possible. And then you have a rules reference for when you're confused by the learn to play guide. As this is a campaign guide where one game rolls into the other and carries its benefits and detriments across, you have a little campaign guide here which will take you through the 3 campaigns that are included in the box. Some nice tokens, which we'll have a look at in a minute, and some investigator cards for the players, some encounter cards for the game, and more player cards. And these are your handy little investigator cards which mark your position in the game. They've got a colour side on the front, and after you take your action you can flip them over to the black and white sides to let you know who's acted. A very nice thematic insert here, and sadly no hidden contents underneath. This is your token sheet. It's about 3mm thick, feels nice and sturdy. Your small tokens are just a bit smaller than a penny. Your large tokens are about the size of a UK 2p piece. In your Ziploc bags are 2 decks of cards. One is a player stack with this back, and one is the encounter deck with this back here. From the encounter deck you're going to want to remove these 2 cards which give you a summary of the round and the actions that you can perform. On the top of that deck you have your investigator cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to want to remove them, pop them to one side, and leave the encounter deck alone because that's jam-packed full of spoilers. This here is your player deck, which will contain all of the cards to build your investigator decks. Each player chooses 1 investigator card. The investigators are tied to different colours of card. You can see there are 5 different colours. Each investigator will have access to 2 of these colours, and there's a pile of neutral card that can fit in any investigator's deck. There are 4 copies of these 3 neutral cards, whilst there are 2 copies of each of these 5 neutral cards. There's only 1 copy of each of the coloured investigator cards. When constructing your deck, you can put 2 copies of any named card in your deck. So if you want to include multiples of these cards, you'll need to buy a second set. It gets worse. Because each investigator can use 2 colours of card, both Wendy and Agnes can use the red survivor cards. You may need 4 copies of the game if you want to have each investigator using both copies of a single card. The encounter deck does come pre-stacked in the order that the scenarios are played through, so you can just take the cards off the top that you need for each one. But the game does tell you to search out specific cards from later on in the deck in order to include in each scenario, so you will have some spoilers. The random element in this game comes from drawing these tokens from a bag, but unfortunately there's no bag! This is everything you get in the Arkham Horror card game box. This has been the Arkham Chronicle. Join us next time for more info.